So you have a concert later on tonight?
I thought it was today, but it's actually tomorrow. I've been messing up days and stuff. But yeah, it's Currency. So I'm going to that tomorrow. So, yeah. All right. What's up, guys? It's your boy Jalen from Elevated Minds. Here with Keila, a good friend of mine, special guest today.
It's very special.
Very special guest. We out here at Sessions Park here in San Diego, and it feels great out here today. And so we just have a cool topic today. So a topic I actually looked at for this was the mental benefits of travel and adventure.
Ooh,
good one, right?
That's an excellent topic.
So first, I just want to say, how long have we been friends? It's been like what, 4 years?
2018. Yeah.
Summer of 18.
Yep.
And so you're originally from Colombia.
Yes, Colombia.
All right. How was that? Like growing up and everything.
I was there until I think I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
Obviously beautiful Colombia.
Yeah.
You know, the food, cocaine. Kidding. No, kidding.
She's not kidding.
Anyway. It's very beautiful growing up, nature, family, food.
Yeah.
My father used to travel a lot, so he got a job in the United States.
Okay.
And that's when he brought us. And I came around 10.
Okay. Dang. Okay. So like when you moved over, what was that like? Was that like a big difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you just speak Spanish at the time?
Yeah, no English, only hello and goodbye. And yes and no.
How long did it take you like to really learn everything?
So I was very shy, like really shy.
You were?
Little, yeah, I was timid. Like I would hide behind my mom.
I'm trying to picture this.
Yeah, it was bad. My mom would be like typical Colombian, say hi, give her hand, and I'll be like hiding behind her, like no, I don't want to. So I was really shy. So coming to United States, it really broke me. Being far away from family and friends, everything that I knew, and the language barrier was huge. So it took me 3 years to open up to speak English. But I said within the first 6 months of me being in the United States, I was already understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can understand fast, you already have a sense.
Yeah.
But because I was shy, it took me 3 years to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you guys moved here, were you first here in San Diego or were y'all somewhere else?
No, I was all over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nomad.
Literally a nomad.
Yeah, nomad. So we first got here, we landed in Boston.
Okay.
So very cold place.
Dang. You were in Boston. I still never been to Boston.
Very cold. Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you took this tropical girl and you just put it right in Boston, and
man.
in the neighborhood we were in, it was a really nice neighborhood, but just very American white neighborhood. So you just had us. And my parents didn't speak English, nobody spoke English. So everyone was nice, coming to our house on Christmas, singing and giving us food.
Cool.
And my mom was just like, no, I don't want your food. I don't have your food. We didn't understand why they were giving us food.
Yeah.
So it was a funny experience.
Really? So like, what would you say is your favorite spot from all the places that you lived at?
In the United States?
In the United States.
In the United States. Definitely California.
Yeah.
And I'll say south. So San Diego.
Hey, I mean,
the more south you go, the better.
The better. It's true though. Yes. I feel that.
So San Diego for sure will always be home, and the best experience and weather in United States. Where I've been. Obviously, I haven't been everywhere, but.
So when would you say you kind of started, wanting to travel as far as just going on adventures and stuff like that?
So I guess it was kind of implanted on me since I was little, because of my father. He's just very adventurous and you know, for him it was mostly because of work. So we had to work, he would go, and he'd be like, okay, let's go, make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
So I remember just always being in the car with him, just tagging along, and we would end up in random places.
Yeah.
Now when we got to the United States, obviously I didn't feel comfortable. I was very shy, like I said, so I couldn't do it myself. So it didn't start until after I met you guys. So right after, I think 2019. That's when
and you kind of start opening up and everything.
So I had my bucket list, the 6 items on Instagram and social media, and then 2019 just clicked, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. And so you just, that was it.
I'm gonna start with, I don't care if I'm doing it solo, with people. I'm just gonna start whatever it is that I want to do. Hike, road, whatever. If I want it, I'll do it.
Was that weird if you like going by yourself? Is that like
weird, really scary as a girl?
Sure.
I mean, as any person, but as a girl, it's 10 times scarier. It was a very scary experience. So I make sure I did a little research before I went to a hike about the area and the stories behind it, and bear prepare. And then once I started small, obviously, and once I started doing my first little ones, I was like, oh, it doesn't feel so bad. Oh, I could do this. And then I started throwing myself into a little more challenging. And of course, not everything goes accordingly, but that's the experience of adventure. And the end, the aftermath is always so rewarding that it doesn't matter what happens in between.
It's just like the whole having done it.
Exactly.
It's like you accomplished something.
So that's the adrenaline that makes you say, I want this, I want to do it more and more. And then, you know, I close my eyes and open it. I've been doing it for too long. I'm like, what am I doing?
So what was your first actual place that you went? Like your first big adventure that you traveled to, like you got to go to, or you wanted, like the first one that was on your bucket list to go to?
Solo or just in general?
It could be solo or friends.
Okay, so the first experience that just opened up to a whole different dimension. So I met this group of people who are huge adventure campers, hikers, cliff jumpers, the whole gnarly. So I went from, you know, just being in San Diego, just, you know, doing small little hikes, just hanging out with my friends, to like, yeah, sure, I'll join you guys to your adventures, thinking their level was my level, which absolutely not, because they've been doing it the whole life, you know. These are the people that send that kind of thing. So that's the, you know, the thing. So I was like, all right. So they invited me to hot springs. So they said, oh, you know, just a 3-mile one way. It's not bad. It'll be fine. So I was like, all right. So we went to a mountain. So the elevation can really like throw you off. You're not prepared for that. That's so that took me off. 2, the hike wasn't that rough, but it was rough for me because I wasn't used to that type of level. So that hike, the entire day, when you go down, you just go down, and then the last mile is like downhill. Like you're completely like, you know, trying to hold on to now roll down. So we went down there, had a great time. Hot springs, beautiful. The lake was cold. The little springs, there were like 5 or 6 different ones. Super warm. And then we camped out. Everyone was so nice. We meet people from all over the place. But when you go back, when you come down, you come back up. So that mile going up,
I bet it was the worst.
I never done that type of exercise in elevation where you're just climbing up and they just walking it out like nothing. I'm having we camped there, so I have my backpack, my stuff, you know. And oh god, I was dying. I was like trying to hold on. I was out of breath. I thought I was gonna faint. And people had thrown up in that hike. Many people had thrown up in that hike. So they were nice. They were waiting for me and just checking on me. I was trying to pretend I was strong.
It's like cool.
But there were a lot of, you know, times inside of me that I'm like, what am I doing? I'm going to die. This is terrible. I would never do this again. You know, I was like so negative. When I got to the car, I was like, I made it.
You did it.
And then I did a hike 5 more times. But every time I always tell myself, why am I doing this? But it just, the challenge. It was so challenging.
Yeah.
And when I realized I was able to make it, and I had a great time, and I connected with awesome people and nature, I was like, I want more of this.
Yeah.
This is what life for me it's about.
Yeah.
Just pushing yourself to the limits. And if you start with something small, for me, it was adventures,
Right.
hiking, camping.
Right.
Then I can apply to other stuff in my life.
That's funny you say that, because I think when my cousin moved here, we started doing this thing where like, okay, we're gonna do one hike a week. So every single week for the past, I say, going on 3 months.
Okay.
We've been doing a new hike every single week, and we're trying to hit all the ones that we can in San Diego. Then eventually we'll start moving up to like Orange County, maybe LA or something. But it's interesting. After we finished the first one we did, I think, was not Three Sisters, Cedar Creek Falls.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice one. But I was not used to that, so I think I hadn't done a really big hike since we did Angel's Landing back then.
That was a big hike. What are you talking about? That's a 10 times more dangerous.
That was still probably my hardest hike.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah. Is that your hard, or you done ones harder?
It wasn't as hard, but it was definitely very dangerous.
Dangerous, for sure.
Yeah, and the people that were coming in and out, there were parts where we were hanging. Yeah. You could easily just fall down.
Angel's Landing is a crazy hike over in Utah. We went to Zion Park, and that was crazy. We were like we're climbing with chains and stuff, and it's super steep. And it was hot. It was like 110 degrees.
Yeah, so we're dehydrated.
Yeah, we're dehydrated. It was the middle of summer. I think it was like, what, July?
It was July, yeah.
July, it was so hot. We camped for the first night. It was 91
a night. So we got dehydrated the night before the hike because of how hot it was at the campground. And then when we got to the hike, we were already like in bad terms. Yeah.
So when we did the Narrows was the hike that was straight up, you're walking through water. So that one was, I think that was my favorite.
It was refreshing.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
But the other one, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But back to what we were talking about, I feel like hiking and the sense of adventure, I feel like once you finish the hikes, I feel like it does something for you mentally, like obviously physically, but I feel like mentally too. It's like it's challenging. It really is a challenge, and it's like, but then it becomes mental because it's like, okay, basically we can do this as long as you have enough water. Make sure you have water if you're going on these hikes.
Food, but mostly water.
Mostly water. But I just feel like every single time I finish one, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling like my body's getting more conditioned, and I feel like mentally I'm getting stronger. And so I think that was just kind of a cool segue for this topic, because I feel like hiking, really adventures in general and traveling to new places, but hiking has like a lot of mental benefits for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what would you say is your favorite adventure so far?
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one, I know.
Because each adventure had its own experience and its own special parts. But I have to say Utah. So I did a van life for 2 weeks with a friend, and we went all over Utah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you feel like you're in a whole different planet.
Yeah.
I think that's why it stole my heart.
Yeah.
The rock formations, the people there too that travel there, being part of, we met a lot of the natives there, so they taught us a lot of the history behind it, what they used to do back in the ancestors, by the rivers and stuff like that. So I just feel so connected with earth and history and humanity, and even though, I'm not native or any part of their culture, I felt that. I was like,
you could feel it.
Yes, and how passionate they were, and how they know their land and every spot. So we got to go to a lot of very remotely places where you're just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And if something happens to you, that's it. That's it. But the sceneries, just the colors. Yeah. It's a whole different planet.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, and I have to say that's my favorite one because my friend was the one that put it together. He's a photographer.
Oh, that's cool.
So he did his own itinerary.
Okay.
And I added a few things of what we both wanted to do. So I was mostly impressed on a lot of the locations that he took me because I was like
I've never
even seen this online, you know, where you're taking me. And I saw the trip and experience from his point of view too as a photographer.
Oh, okay.
So one thing is a hiker and camper and van life, and another thing is of going to certain place and position to capture. And he knew when the full moon was coming in, and mostly he went out at night most of the time to capture like the stars and stuff like that. And I never seen that. I don't know anything about science. So we're talking about this earlier. I don't know anything about astronomy. So nothing. Zero knowledge. So he taught me so much. And now when I go out, I'm like, oh, now I wonder how this was formed. Now I wonder why this is here. So it was a whole connected experience of being in a whole different place.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That's awesome. I think one of my favorite adventures. I've got quite a few, but I think one of my favorite ones was I just recently went to Cincinnati, and I was there for like a day and a half with a friend, and she showed me like all the areas around there. Valle de Guadalupe. We went to like these wineries, went to these like cool food places. Like I had to try all the tacos. Like it was, and what's it called?
Bufado, by the cliffs. They have beautiful cliffs there.
That was so cool. Like the whole thing. I can't remember the other place we went to. It's a Spanish name, but I can't remember the name now. But it was one of the most beautiful views I've seen. The hike wasn't that hard or anything, but it was decent, But the view was crazy. The whole adventure of me going there, that was the farthest I've ever been in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I just drove through there, and I was like, damn, I've never gone across the border like by myself. So I was like, dang, this is wild. But it was cool. Yeah, it was fun. I think that's probably my favorite so far. But I really like Utah a lot. That was a lot of fun. Besides the heat.
Yeah, we got attacked. It was at end of June. We got attacked by a heat wave that was coming from. I think the fires were happening somewhere. So it was unexpected. It was. I saw the weather. It was supposed to be like a night 70s during the day, like high 80s, almost 90. So we got hit. It's just my luck, because they have good luck. I always have bad luck. Everything happens to me. If you know me, you know that things happen to me. Every trip, something has to happen. Right. Unfortunately,
like
so you guys have to deal with my luck. But we got hit by a terrible heat wave.
Yeah, that's
what it was. It was a bad heat wave.
I had never felt. I thought I felt heat before because I'm from Florida. And
no, that was Florida. That was nothing in Florida can handle. That was heat. That was definitely
heat. Because I remember at one point we went to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee because it was so hot, and I looked up and I remember looking at the temperature, and it said 111, and I was like, this nighttime. I had never felt heat like that before.
Yes, it was bad. Me neither. I think that was the worst. And I've been to Utah many times, and it gets hot there, but that was rough.
That was rough.
That was really rough.
That was hella rough.
We were all towards the end. My girlfriend got very dehydrated, which I feel very bad. She had to slip it off and get a lot into liquids.
Yeah.
I got dehydrated too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm used to it because I do it a lot.
Yeah.
But it was bad. You know, it was rough. I know you guys were feeling it too.
Oh.
But you can see it in our faces. We were just like, one thing is being hangry and hot, and thing is being like really hot and hangry.
It's like being both of them.
It was like we were having a bad time.
We were struggling at one point, and
at one point, every point.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
We couldn't sleep. That's how hot it was. We were laughing all night, and then it was bad.
It was, but I remember when you guys said like, oh, we're just gonna get a hotel to get AC, and I was like, that does sound good, but we got the glam.
The free glam.
We had a family. They were so cool, and they're like, oh, we have an extra day at this glamping camp, place, so you guys can take it. And I'm like, oh yeah, we'll take it. Went there. I was like, man, there's no way I could stay here. It was like It was a fan, and it was a big tent, but it had beds in it. But I was like, I looked at it, I could feel the heat. I was like, I have to get some sleep tonight, and I know I'm not gonna be able to sleep if I stay in there tonight.
Yeah.
So we went. I think we got a hotel too. That night.
Yeah, we got a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we got a hotel. We got to go hotel somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
By St. George, but yeah, it was hot. And my girlfriend got a hotel. Like, she was waiting for us because she didn't do the Angel's Landing. She was already dehydrated.
That's right.
Yeah. So she was waiting for us, and then after that, she's like, "I'm sorry, guys, I booked the hotel because I still had the campground."
I forgot
She's like,
about
I'm feeling terrible," and that's when I was like, "I mean, sure, yeah, but yeah, it was bad."
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, it was rough.
What would you say is your next big destination you want to go to?
Best destination. There's many.
Like, or not best, but your next.
Your
one.
next.
Like your next one you want to go to.
The next. So I'm doing a cross country road trip. So there's a lot of those I'm gonna knock out. Definitely. But the one that I really want to do, and I'm just hoping probably I can do it next year. I really want to do Oregon. The coast of Oregon. Well, not think Washington waterfalls, but especially the coast of Oregon.
Yeah.
And the only time frame that you can really do it is around this time, July, up until probably August or September, because it's so cold there and so foggy.
Oh yeah.
So I cannot do it this year, unfortunately. But I really want to do Oregon so bad.
I want to do a road trip from here all the way.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Oh, word.
California. I mean, I've been all the way up to San Francisco.
Yeah. But
I want to go all the way up, hit the redwoods and everything.
That's where I've been wanting to go. I still haven't been there.
Yes.
I haven't been to Sequoia or anything.
Yeah, continue. Oh, Sequoia's beautiful. You gotta do it. Yes. And then continue and then get to Oregon. So that's what I wanted to do this year, and I couldn't. But probably next year.
Hey, let me know.
So I won't have a car, so next year, I'm serious, because I have to come back anyway in May of next year, because I graduate, so I have to be here for it. So I would love to.
I've been wanting, because I wanted to do it this year too.
You guys hearing this? You guys are hearing
documentation.
This. All right.
I wanted to do it this year, but I was like, okay, I'm going to Hawaii in 2 weeks, and then I'm going to Florida for a wedding in September, which I'm like dreading thinking about what the plane ticket's gonna be like.
Oh.
But
well, not good luck.
But that's my 2 trips for now. Like,
you need more. You need at least 3 weeks to go up to Oregon and come back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's especially because I know a lot of great places to stop throughout the way.
Yeah.
Beautiful scenery hikes and all, and circle like hidden gems. So definitely a window of 3 weeks just in case.
Yeah.
You cannot just go there and come back. You have to do it right. You have to do it right.
I want to enjoy it. I want to see as much as I can see. I definitely want to see the Redwood Forest.
Yes,
I've been wanting to see the Redwood Forest. That's without question.
Yeah.
That has to be a stop on the way up. Easily.
Oh, we have the same thing.
I know. That's so
make it happen. 2023.
Hey, 2023, y'all heard it.
I love it.
So, what would you say traveling does for you mentally? Does you think it does something for you personally?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mentally, it has been my, I guess you can say, my escape of reality.
Yeah.
We all struggle with things. We all go through tough times in life, and that's my way to distress and kind of but kind of find purpose of why I'm still living and why I'm alive. I mean, it's a little deep. I'm not depressed. I just struggle. Emotionally damaged.
Emotional damage.
But not depressed, but beaten up by life, like we all have been.
It'd be hard. It'd be rough out here.
Yes, it's been rough with whatever it is, family, work, health. Unfortunately, my has been physical. I've gotten hit with a lot of injuries and health issues that can't escape from. So throughout that process, I lost myself, and I lost sense of why am I here for? Like, when you struggle physically, when your body doesn't respond, and you feel like crap on a daily basis, my situation, not being able to eat, is a way that I cannot feed myself, give myself nutrition, take care of myself. So for me, it's like my health situation has taken that life out of me. Like, I can't be normal. I can't take care of myself. If I cannot continue eating, I will die tomorrow. Like, that's the reality of it. So I lost vision of what's my purpose in life. So I got hit with when I was in the hospital, pretty much on my deathbed a year and a half ago. I remember just looking up and saying, man, God, if I can have a second chance, I promise you, not just you, but like for myself and every one of those that can't do things because of their health or because unfortunately they died, I want to explore every corner of this earth. And it might take me a long time to do that, but I want to start now. I want to start small, and I mean, if I have to die, I'll be okay with it because, I try to do as much as I can. I don't have much regret. But I don't want to die without living.
Like going and doing the things that you already do.
So that's what I said. I said, I want to live. Not live, going to work, seeing friends. If that's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But I want to live. I want to know what living is. And I haven't experienced that in a long time because we've been caught up in a routine.
That's fact.
And you get like this, you get close-minded, and then you don't see what life is really about. So I realized that, especially being in the United States, somebody that's not from here, that we complain a lot. We have a lot in the United States. Yes, government sucks, but they still provide a lot for the people here. You don't see that in other countries. You don't see the government giving checks for COVID, for pandemic.
That's true.
The United States was the only one that really did that.
That's true.
So, and even like that, we struggle. Imagine how other people in other countries did. My family did over there. It's terrible.
Some people don't get anything at all.
Nothing, and they're actually dying, and they're actually, finding ways of how to make money in their own survival mode. Not saying we're not here, but the difference is major. So I realized, what have I been complaining for? Nothing. Nothing. I come from there. I come from poverty in my country. And I was happy. I was the happiest man.
Exactly.
And why am I having everything now and the opposite? So I realized that when I had nothing, I was happy. And now when I had it all, I had nothing. So it took me a health problem, me almost dying, financially broken, so I had to sell everything. So I literally have nothing other than that. So I got nothing. I'm negative. But now that I have nothing, I have more than what I had things.
How crazy is that? It's
life.
It's life, but I feel like I've had a lot of things happen to me too over the past 4 years that I've been here, and lots of hardships, lots of setbacks, lots of things have happened. But one thing that I always realize is there's always someone less fortunate. There's always somebody that wishes that they were in your predicament. There's some people that don't have the ability to do what you're doing every day. And so when I think about that, that's what when I go through things, I always remember like there's always someone that's worse off, and just good to be grateful. Like gratitude is just so important. It's so important because we do complain a lot. Like, we as a people in general
in America
we complain about things, and it's like we have a lot to be grateful for because there are so many people, so many countries that, I mean, imagine you're getting bombed or something right now, or not able to do this, and just sit here at the park and just do this and like look at all of this. Not everybody's got that. So I feel like it's just really important to be grateful.
Absolutely, be grateful and be present. Today, don't get
yesterday.
Don't get too consumed what happened yesterday, and don't stress out too much about tomorrow. What is it, the Panda movie when Kung Fu Panda, when they say that the present is a gift. So that's what I took with the experience. And to your question of the adventurous bringing a mindset, once you get out of your comfort zone and you put yourself in nature, away from things that make you happy and comfortable, you start realizing, one, you start liking it because you get comfortable with it. It sucks at first, but then you get comfortable with it. Two, you start like, you know, it brings the mindset of, wow, man, like I appreciate having a home, having a bed, going back to a home or bed. I appreciate that I can actually go out and be able to do adventures. And it's just like a whole, like, it just, I can even, there's so many things that can come out from this topic, but when you're in nature and you're doing adventures, there's always this like things that come in your brain, like, wow, I didn't realize this. What?
It's so true.
What have I missed? And I've been missing this my whole entire life. For what? So it's just like, it's a mental process, and you just always like, it's like a cleanse, like just mentally and physically just connecting and going at it, and it's non-stopping. So the more you do it, the more you want it, because the more you see, the more it opens. So that's that adventure opens your mind.
That's something I definitely wanted to talk about, because I encourage those people always to get out of nature. Just even if you get out of a park like this, or a beach, or a forest, there's something, I feel like it's not even just mental, I think it's spiritual. You know, like getting out in nature and just getting some sunlight and some fresh air, and, you know, like natural vitamin D, and really just connecting. You can feel it. You can really feel it. And when you said, you know, different things come to mind, I feel like you're grounding yourself. I feel like it's good to, you know, be barefoot sometimes. Get out and walk in the earth, get your feet in the water, and it just, nature is like a cleanse. It's like a cleanse. It's like a reset. So I feel like it's really important to not even just adventure, but just to get out. Just to get out.
Do something different.
Just do something different, not just do the same thing. When they say stop and smell the roses, like really stop and just...
No, literally. Stop, smell the roses, hug a tree.
You know what I'm saying?
It sounds stupid and weird, but
it's for real. Like,
I went through a little vulnerable here, but I went through psychologist and emotional support after my health situation, because I was broken, completely broken. And one of my few exercises was to hug trees. Walk barefoot, and I'm so happy for the lady that helped me out through it. She's great emotional support. That's what I call her. But she said, Keila, just, you know, yes, your situation sucks. It's terrible, but are you just gonna lay down and just see it and just face it like that, or are you just gonna go out and live your day? And I was like, you know what? It was hard to get out of bed because I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. I still tried it. Found a park near me, walked barefoot, and I don't know what it did, but it brought some type of life. I was like, oh, it feels good. And it brought those memories when I was a kid in my country, just running in our hacienda area, and I was like, man, all right. And then my homework was to hug a tree. I couldn't find myself to do that. There's always people around walking the dogs. I'm like, man, this is a little too weird. I ain't gonna do this. Like, And then one day, it took me 2 weeks walking around the park to find myself able to hug a tree. And when I did, I laughed it out because it was funny. And then I just kept hugging the tree. And then I was like, oh my God, when we're children, we do these things.
We do.
And we're happy. And we don't complain. We don't feel like, oh, people are looking at us.
Judgment.
Yes. And I remember my niece, who's 7 years old, that she goes around hugging trees and grabbing roses and smelling it. It's like, oh, it's so pretty. And why do we lose that? You know, that's something that I feel like it's really important to connect with your inner child. It's like, it's seeing life through that lens of just pure, just enjoyment. Everything is just like joy, happiness. You don't care about what color somebody's skin is. You don't care about who's watching you. It's just being there, right there in the moment. You know, whatever comes to your mind, you say it. Whatever you want to do, you do it. And you're not thinking twice about it. I feel like, but when we go through life, we just get beaten down by life, and we just get stuck in like society's little bubble of what they want people to be. I feel like we kind of lose that. You know, we kind of, you know, we work, and then we're not able to do our passions. I feel like we just kind of fall into this cycle, and we don't open up like that anymore. We just close up. We get into small little.
But I feel like being out in nature, it really kind of helps to bring that out again.
It does bring your inner child.
Yeah, it definitely. You know, hey, that's the challenge. Get out of the park and just go run around. Hey,
barefoot,
and then hug a tree.
Hug a tree.
Hey,
let me tell you. Sure, people might look at you, but nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
What's somebody gonna do?
Yeah. One, people are not even paying attention to you. We think that everyone is looking at us. Like right now we're a party. Probably people are looking at us, but at the first I would be like, man, people could be looking at us recording this, but nobody really is. They're talking, they're on their phone, like this guy in front of us is literally on his phone. Nobody cares, and so just be yourself. Be you, hug a tree, walk barefoot, whatever. And if people look at you, so what?
Exactly. What does it matter?
They might want to do what you're doing.
Exactly.
Monkey see, monkey do. So you might, there's things that I've done, and then I turn around and people start doing it in nature, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
You know, I think it was me and my cousin. We went to. It was three of us. Two of my cousins live here now. We went on this hike, and there was penasquitos, a bunch of penasquitos.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you can there's like a waterfall, and there's rocks and stuff, and you can technically cross, but you're supposed to go around. But we're just like, I'm gonna go around. We start jumping in the rocks, and then it was funny because everybody was just walking around, but then they saw us do it, and they started climbing and jumping around. Some of the kids were doing it too. I was like, but they were having fun, But that's the thing. People don't care about what you're doing. They don't. And if they do,
let me tell you something. Most of the time, they're going to enjoy seeing you do what you're doing. They might ask you what you're doing and will join you.
Right.
Or they will be like, man, I wish I could do that.
Right.
Very small percentage people are judging you and being negative towards you.
I think it's us. We get in our heads, and we're the ones. We got that little stuff.
You get in our heads. Get out of your head.
Get out of your head and get out.
You're missing out. Get out of your house. Get out of your head. And talking about with the head part of, a lot of people. We all want to adventure. We all want to go outside. We all want to be active, right? What's stopping us? I'll tell you. There's a war. It's a fight between our mind and our heart.
Facts.
So once you start putting it down together, we're all different. What's stopping you? What's your obstacles? Your mental obstacles, and or what are your fears? And then what are you feeling towards it of different things? And just find a connection, because your brain is trying to protect you. Your brain doesn't want you to get hurt. Your brain is trying to be like, okay, let's be on the comfort zone. Let's be safe, right? In a way, depending on how you condition your brain, it's all about conditioning.
All about conditioning.
And then your heart is like yes and no, yes and no. But once you put your brain in mindset of okay, we gotta do something, and you start with small habits or whatever it is that in your heart that you really want to do, and you put in your brain, I'm going to do it. Once that, I don't know, whatever switch hits,
it's like a little switch.
That's it. Because even if you're emotionally broken down, I'm telling you, because I've been doing this for a while. If you're going through a heartache of, I don't know, a relationship or friendship, or even a health issue that you're just emotionally I cannot get out of bed, because emotions are so strong, that can cause sickness, right?
Absolutely.
So when you're depressed in bed, I can't do this, your brain is telling you we have to do something. And that's where I condition my brain to I have to do something no matter what. So when I was on my worst, my brain was telling me, you gotta get up, just walk around the park for a little bit. And then he went, go drive an hour away just for a little bit. And while I was pretty sick and pretty weak to do things with my body, I did Zion, Angel's Landing, one of the hardest hikes under my condition. I was only 108 pounds then. And
then you had
my Achilles. I actually had an Achilles repair, which is a pretty long recovery for those that know. It's a really tough one. But how can you have so many obstacles, especially physically, where you just know you can, your body's telling you nope, but you still accomplished it, you still did it. And it's that part of your brain where it's like, you have to do something. So that's where it is. It's a conflict, and you just gotta figure it out, you know. Sure, listen to your gut, listen to your heart, don't push it like I did in certain things. You can really hurt yourself. But it's that mindset that adventure brings out of you, where you start connecting, aligning everything within your body. So start with small habits. Start training and conditioning your brain for the good, for the positive. And then whatever it is that life brings you, even if it's rough, trust me, when you're in bed crying yourself out, your brain's gonna be like, let's just go surf it out, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's just go catch the wave.
Get the tears out, and then it's time to get moving.
Yeah, just go grab a board and catch this big wave because you're either riding or it's gonna crush you. I prefer riding it because ain't nobody good. No way gonna crush me. It's gonna crush me a long time ago, but I did it. It's the truth.
But it's true. And one thing I learned, I read in this book, it said, emotions are just like the weather. And so, just like when you come outside, one day it might be raining, it might be cloudy, but the sun is always going to come back out.
Absolutely.
At some point, it's always going to come back out. And so we got to look at our emotions like that and just try not to get stuck in it. And I find that moving your body is a big component in that, because once you move your body, your brain will follow. It'll kind of follow after that once you get in motion. But sometimes you just like getting that first step out of bed, or that first step on a park trail or something, And so I think it's interesting how it all works. But getting everything in a line, body, spirit, and mind.
It's rough, but it's possible.
Rough. But when you do it, so in the closing, I just have like a couple of pretty big questions.
Big questions.
These are big questions.
Bigger than the other one.
I know. So, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned overall?
It's not as bad as you think.
I like that.
It's in the moment, it seems like the world's ending on you, whatever it is that you're going through. And let me tell you, when you're going through something, sometimes we think, well, you know what, I shouldn't complain because somebody else is going through worse. And you know what, it's true. Somebody is going through worse, and that's something to keep in mind. But don't diminish your feelings. Just because I'm going through something worse than you, or vice versa, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it's less validated. But doesn't mean you also gotta dwell on it for too long.
Absolutely.
And just push yourself to be out of it, because it's not as bad as you think it is. At the moment, it's not.
It's just, it seems like it when we're going through it, but then it's funny, like 6 months or a year from that moment, then you're like, it seemed like that was like literally the end.
The end. You're like, this is it.
This is it. And it's not as bad as what
it's not. It's not as bad as you think it is, and you just gotta snap out of it, I don't know where I read it or I heard it, but you got 5 minutes to cry over it, to be mad, to just be toxic, Latina, whatever it is. Just do your thing. Just let it out. Just let it, because you're feeling it. I mean, you have the right to. Just let it out. Don't waste more than 5 minutes.
And there's something that said it. If it's gonna matter 5 minutes from now or something like that, or or is this moment gonna be something terrible for you 6 months from now? If not, cry it out and
cry it out and move on.
But it's okay to feel it. Definitely is okay to feel it, as long as you just don't. Years and years of holding that in.
Which goes to the next part, which I might be a little too blunt, and people might not like this. But if you find yourself being very negative and dwelling on it for too long and too much, you gotta check on your emotions and your mental part. Go speak to someone. Find a therapist, or find a friend or stranger, because that's just it's just a result that you're emotionally immature. And as much as it sucks to be told, it's the reality. If you cannot control your emotions and control how your day goes, you're harming yourself. You're ruining your day, you're ruining your week, but you're also affecting those around you unnecessary. Because what happens to you, sure, it can be rough, but why should I pay the price for it? Why should I be a punching bag?
Absolutely.
So if something, it's again, feelings are validated. What you're going through is validated. I'm not taking that away. Whatever,
Right.
even how small it is, it's validated.
Right.
But if you're too hung up on it, you are emotionally mature.
Yeah, that's facts.
And you need to work on it.
It's facts.
You need to work on
That's
it.
facts. Every single person, and that, because that goes for not just, you know, it can go for your personal life, your professional life, whatever. You gotta be able to control your emotions.
Absolutely.
And if you can't, then there's definitely some work. There's definitely work.
A little work, and there's no excuses, you know, because I'm a woman, because I'm a Latina. That used to be my excuses. Because I had trauma, because you know how I grew up, because whatever.
Right.
Break that shit. You know, break it. It starts with you.
Yep.
Because sure, there's things that our family bring us down on us, and we carry, but it's not an excuse. It's not. You only believe it. Excuses. You only believe that nobody else will, and you're not gonna be healthy. Have a healthy life if you keep holding that and being emotionally mature.
That's absolutely.
I'm working on it every day. I struggle with it. I'm not a professional.
Yeah.
I seek help. I go through therapy,
Right.
especially emotional support.
Right.
I have someone for it.
You need that.
Yeah, and I'm very open and blunt. That doesn't mean I'm complaining, or it doesn't mean, you know, I'm just, you know, no filter, like I don't care, or I have everything handled. I learned to open up and to be okay with things, and it is what it is. And you just gotta feel it, have it, and let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
That's facts.
But don't let that ruin your day and your life and the others around you. And if you think everyone is against you, sure, we have moments with things and everyone is against us. But if it's like always the same thing where you're the victim, and I'm sorry, this is gonna suck us. This is most of us. We think we're the victim on every situation. If you cannot see from the other person's perspective or put yourself in their shoes, again, in the moment, the feelings can happen. But if you don't cool down and still think about that, and you're always the victim,
Might be the problem.
you're the problem, and you need to work on yourself. There, you need to seek someone, and or I don't know, whatever it is that can help you on that. Because that's not right.
That's true.
This is a whole toxic behavior or emotions and depression and mental health. All that is important, but you cannot just say, oh, mental health or this and that, and just not do anything.
Right.
And this is our problem right now in society.
As a whole society.
Emotions. We don't know. We're sensitive. I'm sorry, but we're sensitive. For everything, we're sensitive. Why?
Yep.
Especially in America. Sure, not perfect. Things are going in government and going on. Stuff is rough. I get it. But why are we so sensitive in such a place where you still have an opportunity?
So much opportunity.
Yeah.
One of the biggest places that we have an opportunity.
Exactly.
So, you know, at some point, you gotta take accountability and be like, okay, this is me, this is where, you know, what I've been doing, this is where I'm at, and now where am I gonna go from here? Because, I mean, self-development is, I mean, it's improving. It's improving every day, whatever your flaw. Everybody's got flaws. Everybody's got imperfections, but we can get better at that. We don't have to just hold on to it. But, oh, you know, that's just how I am. It's like, but
That's not an excuse.
you're being detrimental to all of your relationships and people around you. So it's like, wouldn't you want to have the best relationships around you and the best environment around you? And it starts with you.
It starts with you.
It definitely starts with you. So this has been a good, mind-blowing episode here. Last thing, do you have any words of wisdom, parting words of wisdom for the viewers here before we go?
Just been throwing it all over this past couple of minutes, but life is short, man, and like I said, it's not as bad as you think it is. And just try. Just start with small habits. Start with 0 to 10, and then once you master that and accomplish that, 10 to 20, and keep going until you reach 100. That's my advice. And it's not gonna be easy. It's a journey. But there's beauty in it, and you have to start somewhere.
That's true.
You know, you can just say I want to dreams, and then not do anything about it, and then a year later you're still in that same couch or bed or whatever it is, and say, man, what if I would have started when I said I was going to start it?
That's true.
So instead of saying what if, why not? Even if you fail, At least I tried it. At least I did it.
That's true.
And you're gonna fail.
You're gonna fail. Hey,
you're going to fail. I'm sorry if I break this bubble for you, but you're going to fail.
It's going to happen.
It's going to hurt. There might be tears throughout the process. You're going to fail many times, but you gotta do something. You cannot blame God or the people around you for opportunities that you failed to take.
So how long are you gonna do that, and how long are you gonna take before you take responsibility? Take the reins of your life if you can. Yeah. And
at the end of the day, excuses only are real to those who are giving them out.
That's right.
You believe your excuses, and nobody else.
That's right.
I can care less. I'm only gonna see action. So just for your own good and for your family. Just get out whatever it is that's holding you and stopping you. I know we go through a lot of stuff physically, emotionally, depression. It's rough.
Right.
Today's world is rough.
Oh, absolutely.
With the whole thing, but that we see on social media, or the grass is greener on the other side.
Right.
These people are doing this and that. We all have problems, and you're not living their life. You're living yours, so you can still stay there. So do something about yours.
Absolutely.
So just get up and do it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't have money. I don't do that. I don't either. I'm in debt. I married thousands of dollars,
you know what I'm saying?
I still grab my car and I go. I mean, I worked many jobs to be able to, have something going on with my life, but that's not my excuse to not be able to do things.
Right. Exactly.
So,
hey, you guys heard it. Live, get out in some nature, get some adventures in.
Hug a tree.
That's
the homework.
That's the homework. So I'm glad you guys watched. I hope that we provided you guys with some value on this episode. Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna have Kayla's info and all that stuff down below. If you want to follow her, she always got some cool stuff going on, travels, and you know what I'm saying. So tap in, and we're gonna see y'all in the next one. So be good, stay safe, y'all. Stay elevated.